White people say Fani Willis is the most important black woman in America right now. Could that be perhaps because she has no problem going after groups of black men, hitting them with RICO charges that she would never do with any white group? We'll be right back on the Keep It P podcast.
Vaughn Savage Media. Vaughn Savage Media. Savage Media. Vaughn Savage.
Oh yeah, I love that long intro, buddy. I think it's fitting because y'all got to know the impact of the goons out here, man. So Fani, I want to go after black people all the time. Willis is a white supremacist tool. When white supremacy is done with their tool, she will be broken. So she can laugh it up right now, but your time is limited. It says it might seem oddly difficult or even a tinge disrespectful to put in words a consideration of how significant any one black woman might be to the rest of the community right now. Well, I'm glad y'all said it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know you're putting out the bullshit. All right.
As long as you know.
Yeah, as long as they know. We are, after all, in a space where black women at large are having a moment. Income and wealth gap persist. Reproduction rights are under attack, and misogyny is ever present. Yet black women are creating businesses and faster rate than any other group, ascending in politics and remaining arbiters of not just culture, but culture writ large. That sounds like a bunch of clitorius fondling.
Malarkey.
That sounds like you are walking around with clitoris in a bag.
Period.
Rubbing it all the time for just the maximum stimulation of nonsense.
Gotta have it.
But no disrespect it meant at all. Yeah, it was disrespectful. It was. Not to Mellody Hobson.
And you meant it.
Yeah, they meant it. Because you wouldn't have dedicated the whole first paragraph to it. The titan in finances, who also part owner along with former Secretary of State Condoleza Rice of the Denver Broncos, not to Rice herself or to see Serena or Beyonce or Oprah or Ketanji or Kamala. Well, wait a minute. Beyonce, Serena, Oprah, Ketanji. Oh, and go ahead and put Kamala in there, who's just not black at all. But just go ahead and put her in there amongst all the other sister girls.
That's all that you could come up with?
Kamala Harris, y'all could have left that one off. I would have rolled with the sentence, even though, most of the people are coons. I would have rolled with it if you just stopped at Ketanji.
Man, if that ain't the longest raccooning list of all time, you could have just said the top raccoons that are females.
Hold up. The Vicky Diller called them the LOM. the League of Mammies.
So there you go.
Yeah, Oprah's the head LOM. So um it's just that it's a very moment, the most significant black man in the country, if not the most important person, period, is Fani Willis, the elected
Right?
prosecutor in Fulton County, who this week indicted Donald Trump and ain't
That's
to me.
right.
Ah, that's you want to know. You want to know why that's some BS? You want to know why?
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Because you're indicting white supremacy, and like I know, or maybe y'all don't know, they ain't about to do nothing to white supremacy.
Not a near nothing.
If they do something to Trump, white supremacy will have received a crushing blow, and they can't have that.
Nah. This is a little love tap to let him know he got a little bit bigger than his britches and he stopped putting white supremacy first. You're
Hmm.
meeting with Ice Cube, talking about what you might do. You
Hmm.
might gonna check with some disrespect, and
Right?
we don't want to hear all of that.
We ain't got time. No, 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 no. They had to bring them down a peg or two, just a couple pegs.
That's all. We don't want
But
to destroy him now.
Fannie Willis is not the most important person. This is a typical tool move. They put you up to the most impossible task ever for you to fail, ostracized, and then you're going to be done. And you will never hear about Fani Willis ever again, ever again after this blows over. It's going to be over.
Just like Keisha Bottom, Apple Bottoms.
Oh, Keisha Lance, I'm a hoe bottoms.
Uh, you ain't heard not a near none.
They took her ass right out of office and gave her the most stupidest White House position, public relations coordinator in the White
Man,
House.
she was ambassador of Joe Biden's nuts.
didn't, didn't expect that one. It's just
She was
I will.
nutsack ambassador.
Well, the person writing this article said that they will die on this hill, and here's why. You might be tempted to look at Willis' indictment the same way you feel, and you hear and your cousin keeps getting locked up on petty possession charges. Who is writing this?
Dang.
You
Black
want
people's cousin gotta keep getting locked up, cuz?
you
Golly.
you went right to the stereotypical quintessential. My cousin sells dope all the time and doesn't know how to stop.
Golly, he got a pit
Dang,
bull and he eats chicken wings and watermelon. Why don't you?
I swear. Trump seemingly gets charged with the new thing every week, and it's clear that he ain't about to change his ways. But the Georgia charges arguably represent the most significant case that Trump faces. Yeah, that's what y'all telling her. Ain't nothing about to happen to cuz at all.
If you do this, when Biden gets reelected, we got something for you in his cabinet. Yeah, ambassador of my nuts.
What's that? AON, ambassador of nuts,
Straight up.
AON coordinator.
That's what
It's
it is.
Trump seemingly gets charged with a new thing every week. It says Willis is arguing that Trump turned his campaign into a mafia faction whose orders from the boss were to steal the election by any means necessary and whack anybody who might cause too much trouble in the process.
Regular white supremacy?
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. That sounds like the regular agenda. Like, all right, okay. This is the most astonishing for the two reasons. First, there's never been an American president or any official even close to that office charged with running an organized crime ring. There should have been. It's been going on since the dawn of white supremacy. I don't know why it's automatic. It's going to change now.
Well, because they used to just kill him. And
Oh,
now,
JFK.
cuz is yeah, well, he wasn't no, you know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying. That way, that ain't had nothing to do with black people. It just had to
mm-mm.
do. He welched on a deal. P. He made a
Yeah,
deal. He didn't follow through with it. You got whacked, P. That's how they do it. Him, he followed through with his deal, but he was making side deals. You're meeting with Ice Cube and them, dog. You're talking about reparations, dog. We
yeah,
don't like that talk, boy.
yeah, yeah. It says first there's been a American president in close to this office being charged with something, and despite decades of lore, if not hard evidence of how much influence actual Costa Nostra had on the operation of this country, movies from Scorsese, The Irishman, and the series Bumpy Johnson saga, Fathers of Harlem speculate on everything from the mob's involvement in the Cuban Missile Crisis to JFK's assassination. Yet it took until 2023 for an actual president to face the prospect of prison or actually commit an organized crime. This guy is Trump, and the person attempting to bring him down is Willis. And they are putting her head in the stratosphere, boy. She
Just to chop it off.
they yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna fall and make a big splat on the ground when it comes down. It says, which brings us to the second reason that Willis is doing what Willis is doing is not only ballsy, it's not ballsy. Her white coat, that little white little handlers put her up to it. It's not ballsy. She's not in a position to do anything significant.
Not at all.
But more significantly than anything else right now, Willis and her office are being torched in various commentaries about her leaning into Georgia's RICO statute, originally intended to take down mafiosos to get after alleged gang members, most famously rappers and hangers on in the Young Thugs Atlanta based YSL crew. Propaganda at its finest.
Straight
This
up.
is how they solidify the lies and tell the lies. Now, this case ain't even all the way done yet, and here y'all go. Just it's what it is. Y'all don't do that for nobody else. I won't just dissect the merits of the strategy for fighting for crime here, but I will note that having already bought racketeering cases would have given Willis and her team time to hone in their skills and actually trying such a case, intentionally or not. By the time Trump and his crew are tried in Georgia, the YSL would have amounted to a dry run, which Willis' office gleans how these cases could play out in front of a judge and jurors in Georgia, which mentions and tactics work, which fell flat. So basically, what they're saying is they're using these how they framing it. Well, we'll use the black people as practice so we can go after bigger targets, but the bigger targets that we go after, we're not going to be able to get. So all the practice on the black people is what we're actually doing.
Period. It's not really practice. It's really our main goal, but we just saying it's practice. And we're
Yeah.
gonna fake like we're persecuting the other ones. But them judges, the juries, sometimes they're fickle and they don't see what we see. So we might not get the justice that we thought we was gonna get. But sometimes it does work. It's the system we got, but it only works against black people.
Mm, just like that. It said that won't be insignificant because ultimately that will stake. What's at stake here is, well, the country. The bit of the hyperbole is repeated over and over and over, and it relates to Trump. But I'll tell you again, this case is different. The particular list of the charges spell it out: solicitation of violence of oath by public officer, criminal attempt to commit influence and witness, conspiracy to commit election fraud, and finally, conspiracy to defraud the state. In plain English, Trump is accused of running a crime ring that actually tried to steal the country, specifically by defrauding the state of Georgia, threatened public officials and election workers. The charges he faced here might be similar to those he faced in the federal prosecution, but the major difference is he uh, he became president again. Trump can snap his fingers and shut down the federal case unless a judge, possibly one appointed by him, intervenes. He could even pardon himself. Uh,
I
he
heard
has,
that you couldn't do that.
he has no such influence over Fannie Wilson, over Fannie Willis. She could literally be very last human standing between the United States as a flaw as we know it to be the Trumpian autocracy. Trumpian. Trump is not the Antichrist, okay, people? That's just y'all homeboy that y'all don't like how he moving right now.
Dang,
Fannie
she a
Willis.
hero too, just like Drake?
I'm just saying
Huh?
she ain't no
But I'm
mother.
saying Drake was a hero for snatching a towel back from a dude who was bussy, and you're taking down the Antichrist Trump, and you're the same hero, cuz?
I guess. Tell her
Well,
like it
y'all
is.
just say hero about anything. You walk an old lady across the street. My hero, he's a hero.
Drake tied a shoe of a 5-year-old. He's my hero.
Straight up.
um, I guess, man. So Fanny. Sister, I hate it for you. They on your heels now. You know it's really. You notice the height right here. You know it's only downhill from here. Once the
You know
mission,
that, right?
once the mission's completed, boo. And guess what? You're gonna prove unsuccessful in this case, like they know you are, and then you're gonna be ostracized and sent into obscurity.
And obsolete.
Yep, because you can't win no cases. You had the biggest one and you fumbled.
Huh?
And
But they
and she,
might keep her around to put away more ninjas though.
oh yeah, more. Oh yeah, because there's a lot of Atlanta rappers they probably want to touch on.
Huh? You did show your worth now.
hmm You can go after those Negroes relentlessly, and we like you for it. Uh,
Straight up.
anyway, I ain't gonna hold you now. But I'ma mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on cold. Yeah. And I got 4 words for you. Subscribe for the live, like for the
Mm-hmm.
spike, comment
Well,
your
well.
comment, share if you
Mm-hmm.
dare. You might ask where, and I'ma say over there. The platforms we on when I bring it
Mm-hmm.
home, Jones, just to let it all out for you now. I
Well,
got
no
four.
doubt now.
I got 4 words for you now, Pimp Juice. Love, peace, blessings, and maloha. I am out of the door high for sure high. You already know high.